was one song. It was Jump. And it did not land at 400. It's actually higher than that. It is 177. So interesting. However, some of the other selections, unbelievably interesting. Just to give you a taste of what this list was like, because this was really whacked out. So I want to let you know that your beloved Monkees made it to 344 with I'm a Believer. Then the Eagles, Hotel California, came in at 311, which I thought was kind of low. And also 295 for Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who. 287, Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. 256, Master of Puppets by Metallica. 250, Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix. I thought that was kind of low. But this is what drives me crazy. What is at 241? The Humpty Dance by the Digital Underground. I mean, how do you smack the face of Purple Haze? Then it's like, okay, what the hell is going on here? What is at 240, Dave? I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. I mean, how is that even making the top 500 number one? 238, Are You That Somebody by Aliyah from the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. This is before Purple Haze. Is her name Aliyah? Is that how you say it? Aliyah?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with the song.
Well, yeah.
Or the artist, apparently.
You ready for this? Look at this. Layla. Where do you think Layla comes in at a top 500?
I'm guessing not high enough, so probably 150.
224. And what is that, 205? Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. I mean...
So what was number one?
Okay, well, unbelievable. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of this here. I thought this was funny. So Jump is at number 177, right? What is at 178? Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. And what is number 176? You Really Got Me by the Kinks. So somebody's being funny here. I think they're almost I think they're almost dicking around. So just to jump to the top 10 here, right? And this top 10 is absolutely insane. So, I mean, there's some good stuff on here, don't get me wrong, but it's not top 10. Ready for this, Dave? Number 10, Hey Ya by Outkast. I mean, top 10?
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Number 9, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Number 8, Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott. Number 7, Strawberry Fields by the Beatles. That's not even one of the best Beatles songs. Number 6, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. It's a classic. Number 5, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, of course. Number 4, Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. That's not even Bob Dylan's best song, but they put it there because of the Rolling Stone tag. Number 3, A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. Number 2, Fight the Power by Public Enemy. And number 1, Respect by Aretha Franklin. So, not that there's anything wrong with those songs. They're all phenomenal, but, I mean, it is so crazy. Some of these songs, this is some crazy shit right here. Just gotta note this to you, okay? Satisfaction by the Stones. Guess what's ahead of it? Royals by Lorde. I mean, this is like insane.
I'm surprised they didn't have a Rolling Stones song at number 1.
No. You ready for this? Stairway to Heaven is number 61. Number 55 is Like a Prayer by Madonna. I mean, it's like laughable.
Well, it's certainly a very diverse list.
Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan. An absolute classic. What is ahead of it? That was at number 100. What is ahead of it at 93? Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. I mean, you can't make this shit up. It's fucking crazy. So, I don't know. As it is, there's people going nuts all over the internet about that, this whole thing here. Ready for this? This is a real slap in the mouth. Let It Be by the Beatles at 121. And what is at 114? Toxic by Britney Spears. Dave, come on. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, you know what, Dave? They accomplished their goal. They got you talking about their list.
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
Free publicity.
Free publicity.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, I know. Well, Sammy Hagar is back talking about Van Halen again. And you know what? Did
he ever stop?
Does he ever stop?
I don't think he stopped.
Never stops. By the way, I just want to give everybody a little heads up. Rumor is, this is fresh off today's thing. Apparently, The Circle are out recording a brand new album. I believe they are in Tennessee where they're recording, something like that. But they are recording. They're actively recording a brand new album. So that's interesting to note. But we also want to tell you guys, so we talked about this book that's coming out called Eruption by Paul Brannigan, the Eddie Van Halen story. It's called Eruption, the Eddie Van Halen story. We talked about this. This guy's been working on this book a long, long time. It was supposed to come out this coming fall. Well, it has been postponed a little bit. It's going to come out in December. However, remember when we noted that it has the same name and the same cover and the same date drop? Well, they changed everything. I think they're listening to the podcast, Dave. So what they did was they changed the name to Unchained. They changed the cover photo, and they changed the date. It's now going to come out, I believe it's December 14th on Permuted Press.
Right. Now, that was the U.S. change. I think they're keeping the Europe title and publication date the same. Because I think it's actually already out in Germany.
Yeah, it's out in Germany,
right? Okay.
Translated in German. The artist, Paul Brannigan, the author, I should say, he's from the U.K. I don't know why they would change the name for the U.K. Like, why wouldn't they just have one uniform name? I don't know.
Yeah, well, unless the other book that had that title is not coming out in the U.K.
I mean, in today's world...
I hear you. I'm just throwing it out as a possibility.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But anyway, so apparently Sammy was interviewed for this book, and he shares some of his memories there, and he said, from the outside, I was impressed by Van Halen. Well, what I liked about them was they wrote hard rock pop tunes. Eddie's guitar was so musical, and because he used to use major chords, and it was unique, very cool and edgy, but sweet, you know? It was almost wimpy and heavy at the same time, and Ted Templeman's production made the band sound heavy in the same way that John Bonham always made Jimmy Page sound heavy. So Alex always made Eddie play heavy even when he was playing cutie pie riffs. But I didn't like Roth's antics. I didn't see how any guys could like him, but I guess they did. It's like Howard once said, if David's biggest fans ran into him at a bar, they'd kick his ass. I mean, he just keeps pushing Dave down. And then he noted here that Hagar keeps calling Roth a faggot and said that he wanted a relationship with him. I mean, it was really fucking strange. And then I have a quote from Ed that says, Dave always hated Sammy. This is from Guitar World when Eddie spoke to Steve Rosen. I never understood why. Dave would always talk shit about him. That little mother, he ain't got nothing on me. I'd wonder, where's that even coming from? Why the animosity? Ted Templeman had tipped off Hagar to the internal issues going on there. And Hagar said, I've been working with Ted Templeman on his 1984 VOA album, and he was telling me about the bad blood in Van Halen. He'd be saying, oh boy, those guys, man, they got a lot of problems. And when Ted said, I think Roth's going to leave the band, I thought, they're going to call me. I mean, look, this is one of the biggest rock bands in the world. Who can they get? They can't just get some kid off the street because Roth is too big a character. I'm not saying I'm psychic, but I got feelings about things, and I just knew. So he was just going off, and then he also said, when he went down there to jam with the guys for the first time, he said, we ran cassettes all day, recording what we did. I got home at 2 in the morning and played one of those cassettes, and it was so rock and roll. I went, fucking wow. And when I heard how musical Ed and Al were and how Mike could sing above me, it really sounded fresh. I thought, wow, this is like Cream. This is really tasteful and melodic. And I thought, this is wonderful. This is fucking good. This is better than what I can do myself. I was looking for inspiration, and Eddie Van Halen brought me inspiration. So the book is called Eruption in the UK, and it's coming out in September 23rd, but we have to wait until December 14th when it's going to be released as Unchained, and that is from Paul Brannigan. So that should be interesting. You know, what do you think of that?
I think we may have to have a long-distance call with Mr. Brannigan and do another book review.
I know. I think we have to get him on the horn. So,
I think so.
That's right. So now Sammy keeps talking. He's really kind of juicing things here, Dave, and I think he's dropping hints in the press for Wolfgang. He keeps saying about, oh, we have unreleased material. There's a few jams lingering in the vault. There was a one mid-tempo ballady type of thing, Can't Stop Loving You type of song. There was this other one was kind of heavy, like a pound cake type rocker. I don't know if it was just my lyrics or the music. It didn't have the shiny thing that every Van Halen song had, because every song we did was great. And then he also noted that Eddie had boxes and boxes of cassettes, but he wanted everybody to know that mainly that stuff is him going in the studio, running a tape, a little jam here, a little piano piece there, a little synthesizer piece there. He says they're all pieces of songs. And he is right there. Everybody keeps thinking there's vaults and vaults and vaults of songs. Now, Prince has vaults and vaults and vaults of songs, like full albums and songs, like totally ready to go. That's not the case with Van Halen. What Ed would constantly do is he would constantly make tapes of all different ideas and thoughts and little pieces and fragments. And what Sammy used to do, at least the way Sammy worked it, and Dave too, they'd get these little pieces from Eddie, and they'd work with them. Like, they'd get inspired to write a lyric or inspired to write a melody, and then they'd attach it, and then the producer would also help them put this all together. But that's kind of the way the things worked in Van Halen. Every band has a different process, and this was Eddie's process, but everybody keeps thinking there is stuff out there that can be released and make for incredible box sets, but you really need someone. I mean, they're not going to just start releasing pieces of Eddie playing like a little lick or a little this or a little that, as much as we'd love to hear all of it, but that's not going to happen. However, there is plenty of stuff that is finished that could go out, and live stuff and jams. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you the best stuff in that vault is the jams. Everybody I have spoken to who has been up to 5150 or has been in the band, the jams between Alex and Ed, they said, were unfucking believable. In fact, I think it was Brad Tolinsky or Chris Gill, one of them, said that Gary played them one of the jams, and he said it was ridiculous. Like, I think it might even be in the book. But anyway, so he talked about that, and he also said that Dreams came out of one of those cassette boxes. He said he heard this little synth piece, and he said, holy shit, Ed, holy shit, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he went back to that, and that's when Mick Jones got involved. They both noticed that there was this piece of a keyboard that would just make a beautiful song. And he says it took him a little while to write the lyrics and figure out how the song was going to go, but when they put it down, it was magic. And he's got a freaking hard-on for that song, I Want Some Action. He keeps saying, it's a good thing about that song is when you heard it, it was a whole song. Or we could chop it up and rewrite some lyrics, and that could be a whole song. It would be real easy to finish, and we could make a song out of it. And he goes, I'm just very careful with all that stuff because I don't want to make enemies with anybody in that camp. I know it's not my place to jump in and finish a Van Halen song. So I almost feel like he's dropping hints. Like, maybe we can, finish off some of them ideas there and make an album or something like that, which I'm sure.
Like, yeah, don't forget the Van Hagar years when you guys finally get around to doing a box set.
Exactly.
Or releasing unreleased material or whatever.
Right. Now, Sammy keeps talking about this new song called Father Time. And apparently, he's using the line, when was the last time you did something for the first time in that song? Now, that is a lyric from, what is that, Honey Baby Sweetie Doll, Dave?
No, it's from it's from a different kind of Truth album with Van Halen.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Give me a second. Hold on. Now I gotta go into the Eiger Vault.
Oh, you're going to the Eiger Vault. Oh, boy.
What's the line again?
When was the last time you did something for the first time?
That's on the Trouble with Never.
Okay, Trouble with Never. Okay, that's it. All right, yeah. Okay, then I got the right album. I just confused the song. Okay. Apparently that's a new song he's got going. So, wondering if he realizes he's stealing David Lee Roth's lyric.
Yeah, I'm sure he does not, and I can't wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. He's going to brag about that line for the next few months.
I know.
And I would love to be the person that tells him that's a prominent line from a Van Halen song with Dave. Yeah. I'm glad you're so proud of that line, but by the way, Dave wrote it about a decade ago.
Oh, yeah, a while ago. So now also, Hagar is going to be performing a rooftop concert at the Strip, at Beer Park, at Paris, Las Vegas. And he has like 200 invited guests with the contest winners, and it's going to be on like a deck, and this is going to happen on the 22nd of September. So this podcast will come out after that actually happens. But don't forget, Hagar's doing his residency at the Strat Theater. It's going to be October 29th through the 30th, November 5th through the 6th, and November 12th through the 13th. And he plans continuing that party as time goes on. And also, he has been still very busy on his Van Hagar Other Half handle on Instagram. And there he was looking back at Live Without a Net. He had showed a picture of Live